would like to have any modification, please feel free to bring up so the group can discuss and we can change according to the suggestion. Secondly, Jet already asking every morning we should have one person to perform the wake-up bell, but also whenever you hear a series of bells, like I just invite before the session, that means we will hear a series of bells continually, loud and smaller, and after a short break, we have 3 big separate bells, and that means the time for us to come back in a group so we can get ready for the coming activity, because sometimes we get lost in a conversation or somewhere else, so we forgot the time for the upcoming activity. So back to the practice schedule. 6 a.m. we will have a wake-up bell, and we have about half an hour for personal hygiene. And at 6:30 we will start the Qigong or Tai Chi to warm up before we will have a sitting meditation session at 7 a.m. So if the weather is not raining or too cold, I would prefer we will do that maybe outside, so we have the fresh air, and the energy early in the morning is very strong and it's very fresh, so I prefer outside. Unless anyone feels cold, not comfortable, I will show the technique how to overcome that. Yeah. And we will have a sitting meditation in circle. I will sit in this side, and we start from there out, and whoever cannot sit on the ground, you can sit on a chair, but we will try to have a hand-in-hand connect, so the energy will circulate in our group, and also we will collect the energy from the universe like the parabol, and after that we will send that energy back to each person and to the universe for our relative, our friend far away. So depend on how long you can sit, half an hour, 45 minutes, up to you. But we can go up to about 50 minutes. And then at 7:50 we will release the sitting meditation. We will warm up and exit the sitting meditation, so we can get ready for the breakfast. Will be at 8 a.m. We will have the breakfast in silence until 8:30, and we will start the teaching session until 10:30 a.m. So I recommend the whole morning until we finish the breakfast, we should remain noble silent, so we have remain our energy. And after finish the teaching session at 10 a.m., we will have about 30-minute break, and we will resume at 10:30 for walking meditation. So we will rotate. We may divide into 2 or 3 groups. One to help prepare the meal, one will do the cleanup, and one may help set up the table or whatever. Yeah. We may divide in 4 different groups, and we will rotate. One group will do the helping for the kitchen, the other one will do clean up, and the next day the other group will do that. So the first 2 groups can take a break because we don't have a lot of work here. And after 11, when we finish working meditation, we will resume after the long Surya bow, and we will do working meditation around the town here. And if the raining, we will do another session for Qigong or Tai Chi indoor. So if the weather is nice, we will do the working meditation outside. But hopefully we will have a nice weather. And we will come back at noon. We have a silent meal for about 20 minutes. And after 20 minutes silent, okay, we can share. After we finish lunch about 1 o'clock, we will do the clean up, washing up, and we will have the snack until 3 p.m. We will resume the teaching session from 3 to 4:30 p.m. and after that we have a 30-minute break from 4:30 to 5 p.m. From 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. we have a Dharma discussion. That means you can share whatever your experience, and if you have any disagreement, you have any question, you can say that question for the session question and answer after the live supper at 7. And we have about an hour and a half for the question and answer session, and we finish at 9. We may have about 5 or 10-minute break, and then we will resume for the evening sitting meditation session, and hopefully we will have a very good night after the peaceful sitting. Yeah. So far we have about at least 7 hours sleep and about 2 or 1, at least about 1 hour and 45 minutes for sitting meditation. So everyone is okay with this schedule? Yeah. And during the time when we have the retreat here, we try to maintain mindfulness as much as possible. Whenever we need to have a conversation, keep your voice low, or maybe we can say that for the Dharma sharing session or question and answer session, so you can observe the energy of the peacefulness around you, and also we will practice, come back to ourselves and learn how to listen, because of this workshop will help us and will guide us to go back to listen to ourselves, not only on the physical level, but to deeper level into the physiology and psychology, that means mentally. When we can do that, we can see how powerful our mind and how powerful our capacity the nature already give us, so we can transform whatever the harvest energy we had in the past, we can transform or heal whatever the sickness we already have in the past or in the present time. That is the first thing. Second thing, about the room. At you already have the room, and we know the toilet, the bathroom. We have only 2 toilets and 1 bathroom here. So hopefully, okay, we can arrange to each other how to have a shower, so it's not traffic. And we don't have too many people, and we stay here for only 4.5 days. So I don't think that will be too difficult to do that. Alright, so anyone have any question for the retreat so far?
Judy?
Yeah.
Just thinking of just the time for breakfast. There's only just half an hour between breakfast and the teaching session. I was wondering if that would be enough time for us to clear up.
If we have 1 or 2 people exit the meditation early, and we prepare that. So that means at 8 o'clock, everything ready. So I think half an hour enough. But we not washing up after we finish breakfast. We may leave it there, and we're going for the teaching, and then we have half an hour for the break. We can do the washing up after that. Yeah, in that session. If you want, we can actually, okay, we can modify that. It depends. If any day we be late, we can go up to 8:45. Yeah. So and then the break we will have only 15-minute break instead of 30 minutes. Yeah. We had a small group, so hopefully everything will go smoothly. Alright, anything else? Alright, so before we are going to sit tonight, I will go through some of the things we discussed in this workshop. First, we will learn all the cause of illness, and then some natural feature of our body. When we learning that, we will see how wonderful the nature already give our body all of that feature and capacity. And next, we will discuss about 4 kinds of nutriment, and this is the key work for this retreat, because all of our sickness, all our family problem, all of our society problem, and the environment pollution. Even though when we go higher level, that means the spiritual level, for this lifetime and for the next lifetime, based on all kinds of nutriment. So if we master this principle and the energy level of all that nutriment level, we can apply in every single field of life, from this lifetime to the next lifetime. And we can correct or we can modify the situation at home, at work, in society. And then we will talk about the benefit of exercise, and different type of exercise will give a different benefit. We will go over some food element. How can we use the food we eat as natural nutriment and the medicine to build up our body, to correct the imbalance of the sickness, and also how can we protect the environment pollution and our planet from the way of select or using on the food. And we will go through all of the act for cooking, eating, drinking, sleeping, and breathing, because that is all of the normal activity in life. But if we know how to do that, we have a healthy freedom, we have a beautiful environment to enjoy, we have a good relationship with our family, with our friends, and we have a healthy life. But if we don't do it correctly, we will end up with suffering, with sickness. And then we will summarize all of the learning so far to improve our health and the practice. Tonight we will go through this one, the benefit of sitting meditation for relaxation, for detoxification, and for healing. And after that, we will go through some habits may harm the brain cell and the liver cell, and why we only pay attention to only 2 organs. In our body have many different organs or systems. Why we only concentrate on only 2? And we will go deeper on that. And then this is one of the very important session too. We will learn the circadian rhythm, the natural rhythm. So how can we go along with that rhythm? If we get along with the natural rhythm, our body will feel easy, healthy, and strong. But if we just go astray from that, we will end up with spending a lot of energy, a lot of effort, but finally we still don't have a good shape, we still don't have a happy life. And then we will go through some warning signs. That means some signs and symptoms we may detect early in our body, as well as in workplace or out there, so we can help our relative or our colleagues to prevent the severe sickness or death. And finally, we will learn how to use our waste product like fecal, urine, and all of the signs on our face, our body, to know what's going on inside of our body. If we can do that every day, like a habit, early in the morning when we go to the toilet, before we wash our face or we brush our teeth, we will recognize all of that sign and we know what's going on inside. And we will learn how to make a diagnosis. How can we use the food we eat and the exercise technique and the massage technique to correct that issue right away. So when we detect it early, we correct it early, so the problem will be resolved. And finally, we will go through some things we need to avoid and something we should do to protect our life, to have a good shape and the happiness life. Alright, and some of you already learn yoga, learn about the technique for relaxation when we lay flat on the floor. But here, I try to encourage for sitting, because sitting, it have many different good benefits. And we know we are a human being, the top and the higher animal species. Why we have that advantage? Because we are evolved from the vertebrate. The spinal cord is horizontal, right? So when the animal with the spinal cord horizontal, they had to walk on 4 feet. So when the evolution, they try to release the first 2 feet become 2 hands, and the spinal cord try to be upright slowly. By the time when the spinal cord evolve into upright, our brain become bigger and bigger. So until we become the Homo sapien, our spinal cord totally vertical, upright, and our head, okay, is bigger anyone, and the brain cell we have more than anyone. So if we go back to the horizontal, that means we lay down too much, we sleep too much. That means we go back the evolution, not go forward, but we go backward. That's why we see if we sleep too much, our brain kind of doing busy, tired, right? But if we sit upright more, okay, we feel more alert, more aware, and our brain, okay, is sharper. So that is the first thing why I recommend we do sitting meditation for relaxation. Unless when we really tired, we may do the relaxation at the laying down. Or when we had a spinal cord problem, we may do that. But after 15-20 minutes, we may sitting up. The second reason, because we are living on the earth, so we be affected by the earth gravity. Whatever heavy will be rolled out, whatever light will fly up. So when we lay down flat for relax on the energy channel, it will be blocked by all the particle. So if we lay flat, if the earth gravity pull down on the particle, okay, it will settle down on our spinal cord or in the muscle or in the blood vessel. And if our body wants to push out all of that, our body needs more energy, and it's difficult. It's more difficult. But when we sit upright, when our body is relaxed, the muscle relax, and as you know, our body have a few 100,000 different muscles, and between the muscle, layer by layer, is the blood vessel and the lymphatic system and the nerve, right? So when we want to the muscle relax, the blood vessel will loose and the particle will going downstream by the earth gravity, and automatically the energy channel along our body between the muscle and the cavity will be clear. And when all that energy channel be clear because of all the particle is settled out, the energy will flowing up, and our energy complex in this area in the belly, right? So it will follow the energy channel, follow the spinal cord. It will up to nourish our brain. So we will have the wisdom, the insight, the alert, the awareness sharper than people laying flat. The other thing, when we stand up, we have a four posture during the day: walking, standing, lying down, and sitting, right? If we laying down, we have a tendency to fall to sleep, and we get into the problem at going backward, the evolution, and the detoxification process is slow down. When we walking or we stand up, the energy from our energy complex will be pulled out by the earth gravity, because going down all the way easier than going up. Because why? The mother earth give us the energy, and then we have to go take it back. That is the cycle. The mother earth give birth to us, give the food to us to eat, and then when we grown up, okay, and finally we had to get older and die and return to the earth. So that cycle go round from generation to generation. The only advantage of Buddhist practice to help us cut that cycle of birth and death by meditation. That means if we just follow the regulation of the mother of the universe, the energy we provide by the Mother Earth and the universe will be taken back by the gravity pulling down. So the energy complex staying here, going down easier because we have no organ, not many obstruction when it's going down. But when it's putting up, we have all of our main organ, liver, heart, lung, kidney, spleen, stomach, all that in here. It's much more complicated, and the way it is very complex, very narrow. And how about go up to our brain? It's much harder, right? So a lot of our energy be pulled down to come back to the earth when we're standing, when we're walking. So that's why when we sit down, especially when we cross our leg, you see at least 30% to 40% energy will be resumed, will be saved by the Earth's gravity to pull it down back to the Mother Earth. So that's why you see all of the technique for Qigong, for Kung Fu, for the martial art, for liberation, they have to use sitting meditation in the basic foundation, because we want to reserve the energy. We want to reserve the energy be pulled down by the Earth gravity back to the Mother Earth. And that energy, when we sit, it has to be pushed up to the brain. But before it goes up to the brain to help to develop the insight of the wisdom, it has to go through this cavity, and all of our main organs stay in this cavity, so the energy will nourish all of that organ first. So if we're doing that, at least we have a healthy, a good shape in this lifetime. And after it, enough energy go through all this organ in this cavity, the remain will go through the spinal cord to go up to our brain to help to have the wisdom, the insight. And if we can have more energy and stronger effort, it will help to release the energy to get out our body. In that state, we get liberation, free of all the regulation of the universe and the Mother Earth. So that's the process, the benefit of sitting. But not only that, as you see, when we stand up, when we walk, the blood circulation goes easily. But when we sit, especially when we cross our leg, you see, if we not sit cross leg, the energy go out, because our energy, that is the electrical magnetic field, it go down, so it's leaking. But when we cross our leg,